Legends say the world is held together by a single pulse, a hidden rhythm woven through mountains, oceans, and even the silence between heartbeats. Most people never hear it. But there are those who are born with the ability to sense these invisible vibrations, and those destined to change the fate of reality itself. The Crystal of Echoes, an ancient artifact spoken of only in forgotten scrolls, was believed to be the heart of this rhythm. It was said to guard the balance between the physical world and the echo dimension, a shifting realm made of memories, reflections, and the shadows of choice. Once lost for 1,000 years, its reappearance would ignite a storm that only two people could face. Xiao Zhan never imagined he would be one of them. A historian by profession, he specialized in mythological relics but never believed the legends were real. Until the day he uncovered a pulsating blue shard inside an abandoned temple, hidden beneath layers of dust and silence. The moment he touched it, an icy wave shot up his arm, and the entire temple came alive with vibrating walls and glowing symbols. Before Xiao Zhan could process what was happening, the floor fractured, and from the shimmering fog emerged a figure moving with the precision of a predator. The stranger's every step echoed like thunder, sending ripples through the air. It was Wang Yibo, but not the Wang Yibo the world knew. This Yibo wore a black, battle-scarred coat, his eyes glowing with the faint luminescence of someone who had walked through worlds. He was a guardian of the echo dimension, a protector of the balance between realities. Xiao Zhan staggered backward, still holding the shard. You're real. This place, this thing. He lifted the crystal fragment. Yibo's eyes widened. You touched it. Then it has chosen you. Before Xiao Zhan could reply, a deafening crack tore through the temple ceiling. Razor-thin fissures spread like lightning bolts as a monstrous shadow emerged, a swirling vortex of black mist, with crimson eyes and tendrils that screeched like metal tearing apart. Echo Wraith. Yibo instantly stepped forward, whirling two silver blades that hummed like vibrating air. Stay behind me, he commanded, before launching himself toward the beast with speed almost impossible to follow. His blades sliced through darkness, sending explosive shockwaves that shattered ancient pillars. The wraith screamed, unleashing a sonic blast that launched Xiao Zhan backward. He skidded across the ground, the shard glowing violently in his hand. Suddenly the shard pulsed, once, twice, and then burst outward with a wave of light that froze the creature mid-attack. Yibo landed beside Luo, panting, eyes burning with a mix of shock and recognition. The echo crystal responded to you. That means you're its resonant. Resonant. Me. Xiao Zhan whispered. With a single step, Yibo lifted him up and said, Your life will never be the same. And he was right. The world outside the temple had already begun to fracture. Strange distortions shimmered in the air, buildings flickering like broken projections, mirrors rippling like silent portals. People walked through reflections only to vanish. Storms formed from thin air, swirling with impossible colors. Everything was falling apart. Yibo explained that the Crystal of Echoes had not been destroyed a millennium ago as scholars believed. Instead, it had shattered into 5 shards when the guardian who wielded it betrayed the Echo realm and attempted to merge the two worlds. That guardian, known as the Shattered Eye, had been sealed away, but with the shards resurfacing, his prison was weakening. You touched the first shard, Yibo said as they boarded a ghostly transparent vessel drifting over the city. Now the others will call to you. You're connected to the crystal whether you want to be or not. Great, Xiao Zhan muttered. I'm a magnet for cosmic disasters. Yibo cracked a rare smile. Think of it as destiny. Their journey took them across collapsing landscapes. Mountains split in half, forests floating midair like suspended illusions, oceans forming spirals of water rising into the sky. Everywhere they went, the echo dimension leaked through cracks, creating duplicates of people, fragments of memories, and living phantoms born from emotion. In the ruined ruins of an inverted city, one suspended upside down above a bottomless void, Xiao Zhan found the second shard. This time it reacted before he touched it. A blinding flash tore through the air, and suddenly the echo of himself materialized, a dark version, wearing a twisted smile that dripped with malice. The echo doppelganger. The copy lunged with impossible speed, nearly tearing Xiao Zhan apart. But Yibo intercepted, engaging the doppelganger in a whirlwind of mirrored movements. Every strike, every dodge, every kick, perfectly synchronized, like Yibo was fighting a reflection of both of them at once. Xiao Zhan, Ba shouted. Only you can stabilize the shard. Focus on your heartbeat. My heartbeat. I'm literally being attacked by myself. But then Xiao Zhan remembered the first pulse of the crystal, the rhythm, the quiet vibration underneath everything. He pressed his palm over the shard, let his breath slow, and for the first time he heard it. The rhythm of the world. With each heartbeat, the floating debris around him began to glow. The doppelganger shrieked as cracks formed across its body, light blasting out of every opening. With one final pulse, the shard activated, absorbing the echo entirely and sealing it. When the light faded, Yibo stood in silence, staring at Xiao Zhan with awe and something else, something unspoken. You're stronger than you think, he said quietly. The third shard revealed itself in the middle of a colossal sandstorm of glass in the desert of shifting illusions. Blades of mirrored sand sliced through the air like deadly feathers. Here, Yibo fought with a ferocity even Xiao Zhan had not yet seen, leaping through tornadoes of reflective shards, pushing himself beyond human limits. But the shard did not test Yibo. Tested Xiao Zhan. A vision emerged, the childhood memory he tried so hard to forget, losing someone he loved. The desert warped into the past. The sky faded to gray. And the person he had lost stood before him, alive, breathing, smiling. Stay, the apparition whispered. You don't have to fight anymore. Tears burned in Xiao Zhan's eyes. Yibo grabbed his shoulders, voice trembling. This isn't real. Look at me. Xiao Zhan, look at me. The illusion wavered. You're not alone, Yibo said. You never were. The words cut deeper than any blade. Xiao Zhan exhaled, releasing the pain, letting the moment dissolve. And with it, the illusion shattered. The shard floated into his hands, humming gently like a heartbeat finally at peace. But peace didn't last. The fourth shard lay deep within the ruins of an underwater palace, trapped in a maze of memories. As they swam through the submerged halls shimmering with bioluminescent creatures and reflections drifting like ghosts, they encountered the echo sirens, ethereal beings made of sung vibrations. The temple had not stopped trembling since the moment Xiao Zhan touched the fragment of the echo crystal. Dust hovered like a living fog, drifting in slow spirals as if the air itself was frozen between seconds. The symbols on the cracked stone pillars brightened, glowing with an electric blue fire that danced wildly across the walls. Xiao Zhan could feel the pulse of the shard in his hand, steady and powerful, like a heartbeat beneath the earth. The vibration traveled through his bones, making his entire body hum with an energy he didn't understand. Energy he wasn't sure he wanted. But the world didn't wait for him to understand. A gust of wind exploded through the temple, strong enough to knock him backward. He landed hard, skidding across the stone floor. Before he could even groan in pain, a cold shadow stretched across the ceiling. Then came the shriek. A sound not meant for human ears. Metallic, ancient, echoing like 1,000 broken voices screaming at once. Xiao Zhan clamped his hands over his ears, wincing as the shard flickered wildly in his grasp. Mist poured into the room, thick and suffocating, twisting into long, clawed limbs that dragged across the broken floor. And then the creature emerged from the haze, stepping forward as if the world bent beneath its feet. Echo wraith, twisted, endless, eyes burning like twin red suns. Xiao Zhan froze. He didn't breathe. He couldn't breathe. And then, a flash of silver. It cut through the fog with a ringing hum, slicing the air like a comet. The creature reeled back with a screech as a shadow landed in front of Xiao Zhan, boots cracking the stone beneath them with the impact. It was Wang Yibo. But the moment he turned his head, Xiao Zhan realized this was not the Yibo known to the world. His eyes glowed faintly with supernatural light. His coat rippled like the shadows were stitched into the fabric, and his presence felt like standing beside a storm that had learned to walk. "Don't move," Yibo said without looking back. Xiao Zhan could barely nod. The creature lunged. Yibo moved first. He spun with impossible precision, his silver blades slicing through the darkness so fast that sparks burst like fireworks. His movements were sharp yet fluid, a dance of deadly elegance, each strike leaving trails of shimmering echoes in the air. Every time he landed, the temple shook. Every time he swung, the wraith's form fractured like broken glass. Xiao Zhan stared in disbelief. Was this man even human? But the wraith was far from defeated. Its tendrils whipped outward, slamming Yibo into a pillar hard enough to make the entire structure rumble. He staggered but didn't fall, flipping back into stance with a fierce glare. "Persistent," he growled. The wraith gathered itself, its mass churning like a storm preparing to strike. "Xiao Zhan," Ba shouted. "The shard, keep it stable. If it destabilizes, this entire temple collapses." Xiao Zhan looked down. The shard had begun to crackle with chaotic energy, blue lightning crawling across its surface. The vibrations intensified, rippling through the air like sound waves. "I don't even know how to keep it stable," he yelled. Yibo deflected a blow that shattered the floor around him. "Then listen to it. Listen. It's a glowing rock." Xiao Zhan stopped mid-sentence. Underneath the chaos, there was something. Pattern. A rhythm. A soft, steady thrum that matched the tempo of his own heartbeat. He closed his eyes, letting his breath mirror the pulse. Slowly, the vibrations calmed, and the wild light dimmed into a steady glow. The shard stabilized, and the wraith screamed as if the very light pained it. Yibo seized the moment. With a fierce battle cry, he launched himself into the air, spinning downward with both blades extended. The impact was explosive. A wave of shimmering blue energy blasted outward, ripping through the wraith and scattering its misty form into pieces. Silence fell. The shards of mist evaporated into the air like smoke under sunlight. For a long moment, neither of them moved. Then Yibo sheathed his blades with a quick flick. Not bad for someone who claimed he doesn't know what he's doing. Xiao Zhan let out a breath he didn't realize he'd been holding. Not bad. I almost had a heart attack. Yibo finally turned to face him. And for the first time, Xiao Zhan saw it, the faintest hint of a smile tugging at the corner of Yibo's lips. "It chose you," Yibo said softly, nodding at the shard. "You're connected to it now, whether you understand it or not." "I didn't choose anything," Xiao Zhan mumbled. "This thing nearly fried my arm." "That's how all great stories begin," Yibo replied, stepping closer. "With someone unwilling, unprepared, but chosen all the same." Xiao Zhan's heartbeat quickened, not from the shard this time, but from Yibo's unervingly calm gaze. But their moment didn't last. The temple rumbled. Cracks slithered up the walls, spreading across the ceiling in jagged lines. Dust showered down as chunks of stone broke loose. The pillars leaned dangerously, groaning under invisible pressure. "What now?" Xiao Zhan shouted. "The wraith was just the first crack," Yibo said, grabbing Xiao Zhan's wrist. "The echo dimension is leaking into this world. We need to move. Now." Before Xiao Zhan could protest, Yibo pulled him toward the exit with surprising force. They sprinted across the collapsing temple, leaping over falling debris and dodging bursts of unstable energy flickering like broken lightning. Behind them, the entire ancient structure began to implode, folding inward like paper being crushed by an unseen hand. But just when the doorway came into sight, the floor crumbled beneath Xiao Zhan. He slipped, falling into a chasm opening like a hungry mouth. "Xiao Zhan!" Yibo shouted, diving with lightning reflexes. Their hands met, Yibo gripping him with such strength that Xiao Zhan felt the bones in his wrist strain. Dust rained down as Yibo pulled him upward, muscles trembling, eyes burning with determination. "Hold on," Yibo gritted out. "I am. You're the one letting go." "I'm not letting go," Yibo said, voice low and fierce. Not of you. With one final surge of strength, he hauled Xiao Zhan onto solid ground just as the chasm slammed shut behind them. They burst out of the temple seconds before it collapsed entirely, the ancient structure imploding in a storm of blue light and pulverized stone. The shockwave sent them tumbling onto the grass outside, breathless and shaking. Xiao Zhan lay staring at the sky, chest heaving. I hate relics. Yibo laughed, a rare unexpected sound. You'll get used to them. Xiao Zhan turned to him, still panting. Who are you? Yibo's smile faded, replaced by a mysterious glint in his eyes. A guardian. And from now on, your only chance at surviving what's coming. The shard pulsed between them, once, twice, as if confirming the truth neither of them wanted to face. Their journey had only begun, and the real danger was still ahead. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more epic stories.